Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
Please state your name for the record. Spell your first and last names.
Kenneth Ortega, Kennethortega.
Mr. Ortega, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Let
sir.
me provide you with some instructions, which I provide to every witness. First of all, please sit back and relax. Secondly, please speak in a loud voice so we can hear you. Thirdly, please avoid using the terms uh-huh or uh-uh. They can be really tricky. And fourthly, while in our daily lives a lot of us are used to talking over each other, in a courtroom it's important to hear only one person speaking at one time. So please wait until you hear a full question before you start to answer it, even though you think you may know the question. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Direct examination. Mr. Walgren.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Ortega, what do you do for a living?
I am a director and choreographer working in film, television, and live theater and touring.
First, as a director, what do you do in that arena?
I direct film, direct television, episodic movies, and as a stage director, work to assemble live production.
Okay. And as a choreographer, what type of work do you do? Is it the same breadth of...
Well, I work less as a choreographer now, more supervising as a choreographer, but in the day I would create dance routines, dance production numbers, dance sequences.
Okay. And how long have you been a director and a choreographer?
I've been directing since the 1980s, and I've been choreographing since the 1970s.
And in addition to film and television and stage, are there other productions you've been involved in?
Yes.
Such as?
Olympic ceremonies, Super Bowl ceremonies, World Cup ceremonies, concert touring, theater.
Okay. And did you know Michael Jackson?
Yes, sir.
When did you first meet Mr. Jackson?
I met Michael in 1990.
And do you remember under what circumstances you met him?
Yes, Michael called me at my home and expressed an interest in working with me creatively on an upcoming tour.
And which tour was that?
That was the Dangerous Tour.
And you took him up on that offer?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And what was your role on the Dangerous Tour?
On the Dangerous Tour, I was the co-creator of the show itself with Michael, and I was the director of the production.
In addition to the Dangerous Tour, were there other, prior to This Is It, were there other tours you were involved in with Michael?
Yes. I also was Michael's co-creative partner on History, the History Tour, and also a couple of other one-off concert productions for charity.
What do you mean one-offs?
Not part of his tour, but like special concerts that were done for charitable reasons.
Okay. Now, in your professional relationship with Mr. Jackson, was it always in, as you described, as co-director or co-creator?
Starting with History, I believe we were co-directors, and then again on This Is It.
Can you describe your professional interaction with Michael in that capacity as co-creators?
Sure. It was just extremely creative, enjoyable, fun, inspirational, Michael and I would meet and begin at the beginning, you know, and have an entire creative process sculpting out the ideas for the production, from the music, staging, effects, lighting, everything that attributed to the whole of the production.
These areas, the music, the dance, the staging, the effects, the lighting, would Michael be heavily involved in all of that decision-making?
Yeah, I did not do the choreography. Michael did the choreography and also did choreography with other choreographers. I supervised the choreography, but did not do the day in, day out, creation of the dances. In fact, many of those dances were there before I started working with Michael. But yes, in those other areas, costuming, lighting, sound, the staging of the production, illusions.
Okay. And in between tours, for example, Dangerous Tour, you mentioned the History Tour, what type of personal relationship, if any, did you have with Mr. Jackson?
We had just a great friendship working together as professionals. I didn't spend a lot of time with Michael when we weren't engaged in a production, but over the last few years, we did keep in touch a little bit more often, saw each other on occasion, talked on the telephone.
Okay. Now, following the History Tour, what was the next tour you were involved in with Michael Jackson?
Following the History Tour, the next tour would have been This Is It.
Okay. And how did you become involved then on the This Is It tour?
I was first informed by AEG that Michael had an interest in involving me in a planned tour, and then Michael reached out to me personally.
Okay, what is AEG?
It's the company that promoted, that was the promoting company for This Is It.
Okay. And so then Mr. Jackson contacted you directly after that?
Yes.
Okay. And did he ask you to be part of that tour?
Yes, he did.
And can you describe that conversation, please?
Just that he was very excited, and he used the expression, "This is it," a number of times during the telephone conversation, and I remembered saying to him, "You should just call it This Is It. You've said it so many times." He was just very excited. He was, "This is it. This is the time. There, you know, there's great reason to do this now. I'm excited about this, and I want you to be a part of this with me. Will you do this with me?"
And did you agree to do it?
I was involved in other projects at the time, but I told Michael that I would do everything I could to clear myself so that I could be a part of it with him.
Okay. And were you able to do that?
Yes.
Okay. When did you start working on the This Is It tour with Michael?
I would say approximately middle April.
And what was your role to be as part of that production?
Co-creator and co-director, along with Michael.
Let's clarify something. Middle April, what year?
2009.
Thank you.
And as co-creator, co-director, was it again the same type of professional relationship you described from the earlier tours?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was Michael equally involved in the decision-making as it related to the music and the effects and the lighting and all the relevant details?
Completely.
So beginning in mid-April of 2009, how often would you see Michael Jackson?
I say in the beginning, maybe 3 to 4 days a week.
And did that increase in regularity at some point?
Yes. Probably to 4 to 5 days it increased to.
And this would be at wherever the rehearsal was being...
At the center stages in Burbank, California.
Sorry. That's where the rehearsals began?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, it's where our creative conversations began.
Okay. So what was, if you could just paint the picture, what was happening at center stages during this initial phase of preparation?
We were having creative conversations, Michael and I, and then Michael and Travis Payne, choreographer, and I, about how we would lay out the production. Michael had music ideas, staging ideas, and we were basically building the show conceptually.
Okay, from scratch?
Yeah, this show was, building it from scratch as this is it. I mean, there would be elements incorporated into this production that Michael had done before, but it was a new show.
Okay. And beginning in mid-April, with these 3 to 4 and eventually increasing to 4 to 5 visits with Michael a week, can you please describe his demeanor and his of involvement in the preparations?
Yes, he was very excited and just convinced that this was the time. He had great reason to do it, and believed that we had the potential to do something really important and wonderful.
And did he specifically relay to you reasons why he thought this was now the right time to do a tour of this magnitude?
Sure.
What did he tell you?
You know, I mean, he had many sort of reasons, but I would say the most important reasons were that he wanted to share what it is that he loved all of his life with his children. And he wanted to do it for his fans who had been loyal to him and who he cared deeply about, who he loved very much. And he also wanted to do it because he felt now more than ever that his music applied to our world situation. Earth Song, Will You Be There, Heal the World, and other songs. And he wanted to use the stage as a platform to remind people of the importance of us doing whatever we can to take care of this planet and each other.
And he relayed this to you?
Absolutely.
What did he tell you about his desire to put on a production of this magnitude for his children? What did he share with you in that regard?
Just that he was excited, that they, that they were fans of his work, becoming big fans of his work, and that now they were of an age where they could really appreciate what it is that he did. And so he felt now was an opportunity for him to be able to share it with them.
During the rehearsal stage at Center Stages and after Center Stages, where did the rehearsal move to?
We moved from Center Stages to the Forum.
Okay.
And from the Forum to the Staples Center.
Okay. And did the children, and I'm referring specifically to Prince and Paris and Blanket, did they attend any of these rehearsals to your knowledge?
No.
Okay. Was there a reason they did not attend the rehearsals?
Michael was waiting to bring them to see the shows in London and wanted them to focus on their schooling.
And did Michael plan on bringing them on tour to London?
Yes. Yes, he talked about them a lot.
The objection is overruled. The first part of the answer, yes, remains. Everything thereafter is stricken. Disregard the remainder of the answer.
And the children would no longer be in school during the summer months of the tour?
Correct.
Now, about the fans, you said the other reason was for the fans. Did he express those thoughts to you specifically?
Yes, he actually was letting the fans vote on the material, the music material that they wanted in the show, that they wanted, as a part of the show. He had an incredible relationship with his fans all over the world, and they with him. And it was very loving and very special, and he wanted to give back to them.
Right. The objection sustained. The answer remains so far. The next question.
And lastly, you indicated the environmental message you wanted to share. Is that, again, something specifically that Michael shared with you?
Yes.
And what did he say in that regard?
Just that his songs that he had written before that were about the environment, the planet, the children, were as important now as they were when he first wrote them, if not even more important. And so he felt compelled to make sure that they were out there and a part of the show experience.
Okay. Now, what was the reason for moving from center staging in Burbank then to the Forum?
Space.
Okay. Was that indicative of kind of the progress